So, welcome to today's video. We are taking a look at how to mix haze indigo. This is the last of the haze colors. All the other colors we already did. And it is a color that is made of 3 different pigments. We have PB29 ultramarine blue. We have PG26, which is a darker turquoisey cobalt pigment. And we have the PBR33, which is iron zinc chromite brown. Like always, if I do have the original version from Schmincke, I will do swatch the original version first before we take a look at the pigments and mix our own version of the color. Of course, I don't have all the colors from the series because first off, it is a lot of colors, a lot of money, and also not every color is a color I'm really interested in. So I mostly bought the versions or the colors I like the best, with the exception of I did buy a few years back a wooden box which was some kind of a limited edition anniversary set thing, and there were also a lot of the supergranulating watercolors in the set. So I think I have, because of it, 2 doubles, but from colors I really love, so at least that's okay. But there were also a few colors in this box which I probably wouldn't have bought individually. So yeah. When you take a look at the dried color swatch, which we will do in the end of the video, of course, you see mostly more grayish, blackish color. Some areas are more like a darker blue, like an indigo, but overall it is more blackish than bluish, I personally think. There are areas where you can see a very light brownish shade. It was a little bit surprising to me that the brown isn't coming through so much, because it is a very strong pigment, the PBR33. So even if you are using a higher amount of brown in it, it doesn't show that much, because it doesn't look as brownish. It mixes very well with the others, and where it does separate a little bit, it is always mixed with either the green or the blue. So you are not having these little aisles which are completely brown, which you have in other mixes like that. So the ultramarine blue I use today is the French ultramarine from Daniel Smith, which is a very strongly granulating ultramarine blue. With the ultramarine blue, it is always a thing, because there are versions which granulate very strongly, like this version, and you have versions which barely granulate at all. For example, the Schmincke ultramarine finest, which are definitely not suitable for such super granulating color mixes where you want to have a strong granulation and color separation effect, especially if the other colors you are mixing it with are also not so strongly granulating. Then you will probably not have a lot of granulation, or if you are unlucky, even not have a color separating effect at all. So definitely take a look how much your ultramarine blue does granulate. And if you want to mix colors like that by yourself, then definitely you have at least to have a version which is mediocre in the granulation to really get it working for mixes like that. The PG26 I'm using today is from Winsor Newton Professional. I do have a lot of PG26 darker turquoise green colors. That is definitely a pigment you get from nearly all the brands. So it is very easy to get that pigment as a single pigment color. If you, I think, watched my watercolor tube collection, the turquoise one, where I do take a look at the turquoises there, you can see how much I do have from that one. It is a very, very strongly granulating pigment from the cobalt family, so it is a very good pigment for mixing in mixes like that if you want to have a strong granulation and color separation effect. The PBR 33 I'm using today is from Schmincke, because there aren't a lot of brands offering the pigment. I personally only know Schmincke and Kusakabe, which is very new. They have added, the Kusakabe have added it, I think, this year to their range. They have two versions of the pigment, in the cool version and a warmer version. I think the Schmincke version is a warmer version as well, but it is more reddish than the Kusakabe one, and that's the reason why I decided it is best to use the Schmincke ones, because that is the same version, of course, Schmincke uses in their mixes. So to get closer to the original version, it is best to use pigment version which are close or closest in hue to the pigments offered by the company. And that is another reason why I'm a big fan of dot cards. Not only for that, if you want to buy a color and don't know how it does look, the pictures you see on the screen are not always really close to what it looks if you are looking at the real swatch. So that's one reason. The second, of course, you can test the colors and know if you like the pigment or the brand. But also, of course, if you are a person who says, I want to mix colors like that by myself, then you can always do a swatch of your pigment version from whatever brand you have and compare it with the one from the brand which does the super granulating mix you are remixing. So you can choose a version which is closest in hue. That's definitely also a big plus. I do that a lot for this video series, just to take a look if I use other brands' version, if it is really close to the pigments Schmincke is offering. So yeah, I think my version is a little bit too much on the bluish side. So I should have used probably a little bit more brown and a little less of the ultramarine blue. But overall it is very, very close to the original version. It is definitely a mixture which is very easy to remix, even if it is a 3-pigment mixture. Yeah, I really, really hope that the video was helpful and informative for you. And thank you very much for watching. As always, a thumbs up or a follow is highly appreciated, because it really, really helps me in the channel. So thanks everyone for that, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and to see you soon in one of my other videos. Bye bye!